Oh, nikairuka. Eh, eh. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Frank.
Mami.
Thank you. Thank you for joining. How is your Saturday? How are you faring on this good Saturday? joining. Happy Saturday. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for joining. How are you doing? How are you doing today? Thank you. Thank you guys for joining. Wow, that's so good. I'm also doing fine. I'm also doing fine. I'm also doing very fine. Wow, thank you guys for joining with a lot of love. Let's like the live, guys. Let's like the live, and I'm going to appreciate guys. And today guys is all a very instrumental topic about food quality. You know, I read a report today, a certain report today. Who you know, our team lost. So beyond that, I don't follow football. I don't follow football. Are you a fan of football? Rarely do I watch football. Rarely. That should be the correct word. So guys, today welcome to another live, and today guys is all about food quality. You know, I read of a certain report, and I got a little bit concerned about about the issue of food and how we are consuming it each and every day. And I came to realize that you know, one of the key concerns linked with food quality is all about the level of toxins. You know, the level of toxins that you know, that are linked with our food systems. Yeah. And when I was reading across the report, I saw that one of the key contributing factors of why we are having a lot of health issues, it's all about the quality of food. Most times we really don't focus on what is causing our food maybe to degrade in terms of quality. We really don't really, you know, bother. As long as the food, we can be able to get the food, then we don't really want to understand where did the food come from, the process that it underwent, and how mostly, you know, and how mostly how quality it is. So I was reading of a certain paper done by a certain medical guy, and he was really complaining about the kind of food quality that today we are really accessing. You know, of the current food market that we are accessing, most of those food are really contaminated. You know, I really got shocked about that. And so guys, I thought that today it was such a very good day for us to, you know, to focus and to discuss a little bit about food quality, because eating quality food very important. So one of the key issues, as I have seen people voting, is all about the issue of soil degradation. I agree. Most of the times, all the food that we are really producing, especially the GMO food, and even the other food that we really, you know, like the GMOs, which are, wow, after a very long time, you are back. Thank you for joining. So guys, you know, most of the food systems, you know, that we are really working on, or that is really producing, that paper was highlighting, is all about the increase in ensuring that each and every time that the market can be able to access food systems, you know. And in the process, the food systems have been designed in such a way that if maybe a certain maybe if a certain crop or a certain fruit should grow maybe for 6 months, then they have been modified in such a way that within 3 or 2 months the food is readily available, you know. And in the process of growing that food or that fruit, you just realize that a lot of very many chemicals and a combination of them are always used. Karen is saying hi. Karen is saying hi, Ken. So a lot of chemicals are really used to ensure that those food are always there. I agree when we talk about the issue of soil degradation. I agree this in our Kenyan context. I agree that this is one of the key contributors to our food contamination. Yeah, I know of very few places. I know of very few places where I heard watoto wanaweza fanya ufungiwe channel. They report that maybe your channel is really talking issues maybe beyond the you know. It's very true. It's very true. Yeah, it's very, especially when they realize that maybe your channel especially maybe they just realize that maybe your channel is talking about some of the key, we call them contradictory, you know, or yeah, some of the key, how can I say, when the topics are not so friendly with them, the channels are always closed. The channel are always closed. Yes, but in the process, that's the reason why maybe when you really want to enter life, you have to choose, you know, the content. Is it for below, you know, is it for kids? Yeah, if you click for kids, then they give you a list of things that you should do to ensure that your channel is moderated. Similarly, if it's not for kid and then they just come to your channel and maybe their rights are violated by your channel, everything now just becomes so much. Apart from just saying hi and maybe, you know, telling them good things until they get away. So guys, when we talk about the issue of soil degradation, this is where we use the highest level of what we call the highest levels fertilizers and pesticides that really depletes what we call the essential minerals in the soil, you know. And in the process of depleting these minerals, then you just realize that the food crop. The issue is all about the high yield varieties, like I was saying about the GMO. This is where you find that most of these crops, you know, like the big danias and the hohos, I know you know them guys and maybe you are using them. I also use them. You know, those we call them the density, because they are so huge, you know. The cucumbers, all those things that generally if they are not produced using these chemicals, most of them would maybe take allowed about even 1 year, about even 4 months or 5. But since most of them are chemical used, then you just find that they are produced even within weeks, you know, within 4 weeks, a month. and if it stays, if it overstays, within 1 month and 2 weeks, it is due for harvest, and then you do another rot. So they appear to be so nice, but at the nutritional value, they don't have any nutritional value, because they have been really, is it what is it called, hybrid? Yeah, they have really been, a lot of hybrid has been done onto them, and in the process all the nutritional value is all gone. So it's always good to understand that when we really talk about food quality, we are really talking now from the way food is produced up to the way now the food gets the real consumer. The other issue is all about the nutritional value or the nutritional loss. This happens especially when maybe we are preparing food, and I know of certain guys, I being one of them, that really I'm very keen when it comes to how food is being prepared. Okay, most of the times you might not be there, but I don't really love overcooked food, because when it's really overcooked, then most of the nutritional values are really lost. Like we are being told that processes such as peeling, when we peel our viazis, and heating and exposure to oxygen can really destroy or remove the variable nutrient from the food. Wow, that's another critical thing that we should understand. That's another thing that we should understand, that food value is also very, 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 very essential when it comes to preparation of food, and therefore we should not, or we should never ignore how food is prepared. So we should be very, very, very keen when we prepare food. I know maybe most of us really love what is cooked, if it's like cabbage, we really want them to be really cooked, but for those, I'm doing great. Ken is back and he's saying that he's doing great. Wow, thank you, Ken. Most of us, we really we really don't even we are not even keen on how that food is prepared, and in the process you just realize that all the nutritional value has been lost. Also some of the key fruits, we really lose a lot of nutritional value. We really lose a lot of nutritional value, especially when we peel them. Yeah, like the mangoes. There are guys that have really normalized on peeling the outer coat, and in the process, it really, it really does what we call food degradation. And once now the food has been degraded, now everything just comes very, very different. We lose a lot of a lot of nutrients. Then the other issue is all about the environmental stress, and given the issue of environmental stress, one of the key environmental, you guys, you really experienced what we are experiencing here in Nairobi, a lot of cold, very, very prolonged day of cold. Now the cold is gone. Now we are back to the prolonged period of sunshine. Now that in terms of that environmental stress, even the crops, maybe that unity gets now what we call that extreme heat and warmth. Now you might find even some of the nutritional value might be lost in that process. And also the issue of what we are calling the climate change. you know, in terms of rain patterns. Sometimes you just find that we are having very, very heavy rains in such a way that even plants do not have the right time for them to uptake the maximum amount of water. That just find at the end of the day they lose a lot of nutritional value. Similarly, also when we disrupt what we call the natural soil ecosystems, you know, like I have seen a lot of farms, you know, they are heavily relying on fertilizers. Yeah, they are heavily. Okay, we have some good fertilizers like CAN, but at the end of the day, all these fertilizers, because of these nutrients, some of them they are so heavy. You know, it all depends with the category of the heavy metals, because all of them absorbed by the plant. The plant now develop toxins instead of developing what we call the nutritional value. So climate change, or what we are calling the green revolution, is such a very, very, very critical issue. And this one is a global phenomenon, you know. This is an issue that is happening across the globe. The issue of the issue of climate change is not only affecting, you know, our plants, even us as the human being, we are affected directly. That's how extreme that thing is. So there is need for us to understand that there are so many ways in which we need to evaluate on the quality of food that we are really accessing and the quality. So we should be really, really careful in terms of protecting the remaining nutrients, you know. Yeah, the remaining nutrients, because at the end of the day, we really want to have what we may call the maximum nutrient intake, our bodies to really have this great amount of mineral intakes. And that's the reason why maybe you are getting, maybe you know, you are eating some food, and then you just believe that that food is very, very fresh, but so that one is another key issue. The other issue is all about our waste discharge. Yeah, like here in Nairobi, guys, we are eating a lot of sukuma wikis and kales, you know, all planted alongside Nairobi River, guys. And you know, when you talk about Nairobi River, it's all about the waste discharge. Yeah, and now when you talk about the waste discharge, 99.9% of that waste discharge is all about the combination of chemicals, is all about the combination of heavy metals. And you know, once now we have the highest level of high metals, heavy metals, then at the end of the day, it really leads to what we call, you know, now variation of us maybe taking very, very high metals, heavy metals in our body. And you know the risk of having heavy metals, because one of the key things that we should be very, very careful with, it's about the issue of the intake of the heavy metals, because at the end of the day, heavy metals really messes up with the way our normal body systems operate. So all these toxins that we are really producing, and then we are discharging them in our livers, especially within the city or the urban settings. Yeah, here we go. It has what we call significant impact on human health. Yeah, significant impact on human health, as it can damage the way our DNA should operate, you know. Yeah, it's really messing up. It can really mess up with the brain, you know, with the kidney, with the functioning of the kidney and liver, and it can also disrupt what we call the nervous system. So heavy metals, and for you to start realizing that you have heavy metals, or maybe you are taking the indications that maybe you are significantly taking these heavy metals in terms of products such as sukuma wiki, the ones that maybe they are plant. Some of these issues is all about, you know, you just feel nausea. Sometimes you have some, you know, mild headache. Yeah, sometimes you just feel fatigue, and then at the end of the day, now the long-term impact, you just now realize, like the Alzheimer's. So you just now start forgetting issues. And then we are being told that mostly when we talk about the exposure to heavy metals, this is it's very prone for us guys, especially those that are living in the city. Yes, all those vehicles that are really on our roads, when we really inhale, that those smoke that they produce, the industrial smoke, maybe sometimes coming in contact with maybe some of these metals, especially for those guys that work in some of these industries, and they can lead to what they call the compounding impact or the compounding effect. So heavy metals, guys, they are there, especially in our food systems. Yeah. There they are. Yeah. When now arsenic is not so common, but cadmium, I know mercury is very, very common. Lead, mercury is always linked with the combination of human waste and the industrial waste. And then the lead, all these wastes, especially when it come into contact with what we call the food, uh, through maybe the growing condition, like those ones growing in the riverbank, maybe through the fertilizers that we are using, you just find that they are very, very common to in rice, in vegetables, fish, processed food, and also in water. Yeah, and also in water. So guys, now is all about understanding, how we can be able to reduce, because heavy metals are there, because most of our farms we are using the fertilizers. For those that are living in the city, they are eating kales and all the domas and all these other foods that really grow within our banks. And those are the kind of food that we are really accessing in our markets. And even if it's not all about producing the city, even those that are really produced, in the interior, it's all about, their preparation using so many chemicals as a way of ensuring now that our market chain or our market production is always served with variety of food. Toxicity of these heavy metals in food, they are given very, very simple remedies. Yeah. They very, very simple remedies, but yet very, very important. Simple but yet very important. And they are saying one of the key things that we should focus on is all one of the key way for us to reduce the heavy metal toxicity in our food is all about choosing diverse diet, and we are told now for our diet it should mainly be composed of varieties of fruit. So we should normalize, guys, on eating a lot of fruit. So fruits, they are very, very important. We should mainly focus on eating or uptaking a lot of fruit. That one is very, 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 very important. Apart from fruit, we should also focus mainly on eating a lot of vegetables. Yeah, we do a lot of vegetables. So fruits, very, very essential. Then we choose what we call the vegetables, you know, the whole grain. I don't know the whole grain. I'm not very conversant with the whole grain. You know, as we are told that this one can lead to what we call the lean protein, you know, leading to minimizing the exposure to certain contaminants. Also, apart from that, we are told that we should do what we call thorough washing. You know, most of the time we don't really wash, yeah, and if we wash, we don't do it thoroughly, you know. So thorough wash is also very important. Thorough wash is also very important. So anything that we are really accessing, we should also focus on what we call thorough washing of all the products that we are accessing with water, you know. For those guys maybe that that can be able to do what we call the high pressure cooking. Yeah, the high pressure cooking is also very important, or what we call the freezing for potential reduction of metal in some food. Yeah, and I think for high pressure cooking, I think this should be the way that maybe from the meat, the first way, even if you really want to eat the, what is it called, the choma thin, yeah, first of all, make sure that that meat is really boiled. You boil it to the end. Then after boil it, now you can think on how you are going to make the choma thin, yeah. But making the choma thin without boiling, that meat does not, but really it does not kill or any potential type of heavy metals that might be there. And you know, for those guys that are really living within the city, most of our cows, they are feeding on everything, you know. You find them even feeding on feeding on even the nylon papers, and you know, those are some of the key contaminants that really increase the chances of us accessing what we call the heavy metals, because at the end of the day, all of us, we really love to have some meat, yeah. Then we are told, apart from that, we should also focus on we should choose on low risk food. Wow, I think this is the, yeah, low risk foods. Some of the foods that we cannot we are told they are food like the vegetables, and vegetables, when they talk about them, they are really focusing on green beans, yeah, the bosho, the butternut squash, I don't know that, the peas, and proteins maybe for eggs. For eggs I agree. For eggs you cannot get the heavy metals there, and maybe beans. So those ones are very important, and those are some of the things that we should focus on. Then we vary the grain. This is another thing which is very important. We vary the grain. When they talk about the varying the grain, because rice is said to absorb more arsenic, you know, and we can also incorporate it with other diets such as barley. I know most of us, we have never even eaten barley, I being one of them, which is, I think that should be a call, you know, that should be a call. So guys, that's the way to go, you know, that's the way to go. We really focus on reducing the toxins, yeah, be it in the way we prepare our food, it's very important. Be it the way, you know, be it the choice that we make for our food, that one is also very important. And be it the way or where maybe we accessing our food, the source, you know, the source is also very important. So at the end of the day, having that consumer, you know, there is that vendor, yeah, or there is that guy who really who really serves you with Peter is here. Welcome on board, Karen and Ken. Your contribution are very much welcome, of course. Welcome, Ken and Karen. Karen has always been here. Eh? Yeah, that is it, guys. That is it. Very, very important. We also focus on, accessing the consumers that we can trust with our food system or with the food that we access in each and every day. So that was our topic today. Yeah, I read an article and I thought it was very, very important, to focus on, on ensuring that maybe we are a little bit more aware on how maybe we can access that quality food, not only having that food on the table, but always understanding how maybe we can enrich on that food. So for those guys like Kalen, who is maybe in the up country, Kalen, maybe you can focus now, maybe doing your own kales or your own burgers, yeah, and using less, what is it called, less fertilizer. Maybe you can focus on using the natural one, maybe from goats or from cows, and that one I think will be more better. And for those in the city like I and maybe Ken and everyone else like Peter, maybe we can focus on not eating a lot of what is it called, a lot of the GMO food. They are everywhere, they are being sold, and anytime we see them we just feel like we really want to eat more of them. But we are being told we should also be very, very cautious, because a lot of modification has been done onto them, and in the process of modifying them, we are really in the process of modifying them, we are really losing a lot of nutritional value. Like before the GMO really got into the market, there was the crossbreeding of, you have this plant and you have this plant. Like maybe you have doing that cross functional thing, at the end of the day you really lose a lot of nutritional value. So maybe the best food that maybe with an avocado, maybe the traditional one, maybe if we can be able to be accessing those food, they are saying those ones are the best because they have the maximum nutritional value. That is the very good chances of maybe not having all these lists that comes with with the loss of nutrition from the food systems that, or from the food that we really obtain and with that we really consume. Peter, the quality food is deteriorating by day, very, very. But I love the essence that we have been given, the choices. Yeah, the choices that we should more, the choices that we should really focus on. Like the choice of maybe focusing on low risk food. Yeah, like the beans. I know beans, to produce beans, they really take time. Beans, they are not like the GMOs. Beans, they really have to take their own time until they really now give you the produce. So beans, maybe beans, they have that high chances of ensuring maybe that we are eating that quality food. They are also saying the pears. Yeah, on very on very rare cases have I heard of a GMO pears. I think even the guavas, I don't know if they are there, but I have not so far seen the guavas GMO thing. The guavas, I think the guavas, they are there. The guavas, they are there. Yeah, guavas, I think they are there. Eggs, I can believe on eggs. Eggs, I agree. Because yeah, most of these chicken, they are there. They are the GM. They are, yeah, we have the traditional one, or what we call, is it called the traditional one? ile mayai ya kienyeji, we have the kienyeji one and the other one, so mainly maybe we can rely mostly on the kienyeji eggs. So the nutrient rolls, I really think it comes with how we prepare food. Mostly they are saying mainly because of maybe crossbreeding or something of such, and the way we prepare food. Because when we peel, they are saying we are also losing a lot of, we are losing a lot of nutrients. When now in the process, they really lose that nutritional value. So it's also good to understand that, that's another way that we are really losing the nutritional value. Another thing that we really fail, and which I'm seeing is very, very important, is the use of safe water and low materials. I think this is another also food for thought. This is also food for thought. We really need to ensure that we use safe water and low materials to ensure that our ingredients are safe and clean for consumption. Yeah, they are very, very clean and safe consumption. And then another thing, I think most of us do not really check on the expiry date of most of these products. It's also very, very important. Yeah, they should be a basic thing of ensuring that we really check on the expiry of most of the products that we are really consuming. We should check on the expiry date. Checking on the expiry date is also very, very critical. I think good hygiene is also very, very important. Most of the time we tend to, like they are saying, we should handle our food with the highest level of good hygiene. This is where maybe we should avoid coughing or sneezing over food. We should keep our hair, we should keep our hair. For those that are in the kitchen, we should always keep our hair tied back and cut off the wood. If we have some woods or cut off, they should be properly, yes, poor. Mhm. Or sneezing on over food, keeping our hair tied. as well as properly covering cuts or wounds. Yeah, properly covering cuts or wounds if we have them. And the process will have ensure that maybe we accessing quality food. Yeah, quality food. So quality food is a very uh, and then another, prepare food. Yeah, when we are sick we should not prepare food. Why? Because at the end of the day we are being told that when we are sick we have high chances of maybe transferring those germs. The germs that we are really having when we are sick, there are very high chances of transferring those germs to the food that we are preparing. So it's also a good practice to ensure that we reduce on handling food, especially when we are sick. Wow, that's a new one. I think that's a new one, but it's also very important for us to ensure. Ukisikia ikibehave hivyo lazima ipik, but nataka ikuwe fully charged. So that is it, guys. It's always good to ensure that we access quality food, since when we access quality food, now it becomes easier for us to reduce some of the safety issues that are always linked with the food that we're consuming each and every day. So there we go, guys. Hapana, sijaona hapa. There was a research that, according to that research, because it was a Kenyan research, it also showed that, due to high contaminant, of our water services, even some of the fish that we are really eating, they had the highest level of mercury, you know, very, very, very high level of mercury. And the way we love eating fish, guys, fish is good, but you know, so some of the fish were reported to have there we are. I think I can tap some of this information. Yeah, they are saying some of these fish in Kenya that have high levels of mercury includes the Nile perch from Lake Victoria, the types for Shakil, you know, Hydrophonas for Shakil from Lake Turkana. They are saying these are some of the highest predators with the highest level of mercury. So guys, you should also be aware about that. So fish, you know, eating a lot of fish now and then also have the highest potential, you know, of heavy metal. To realize that food is also very, very critical when it comes to the fish that we really consume. So guys, I think I'm going to come to the end of this live, and today I believe that we had one of the key topics touching across everyone. And our topic was, is food quality a concern to us? Is food quality a concern to us? And how do we really reinforce it? How do we really reinforce on food quality? You know, that's a food for thought. Yeah. And we had a very, very good poll that really asked about which aspect do you believe greatly messes up with the food quality system. Is it about the soil degradation? Is it about 67%? Environmental stress. People still believe that maybe climate change is not so prone, so it got 0%. High yield varieties, high yield varieties. This is where now we do what we call the cross planting and the stuff. That one also got 0%. And then we have the nutritional loss, the nutrient loss, which is mainly experienced based on how we really prepare our food. So guys, thank you so much for voting. Thank you so much also for attending the live. It was such an important. Tomorrow guys, let's meet same place, same time, and may God bless you guys until tomorrow. Thank you.